Welcome, people of YouTube. Guy Gash here again today, bringing you something a bit different. So my friend asked me a while ago to make a bit of a food prep video to see what I eat. Obviously I follow a plant-based diet. So I'm doing some meal prep for work. I'm going to make some nice soup and some homemade bread. But I'm going to freeze the dough. I won't be cooking the dough today. But what you need to make, what we're making today, is a frying pan. A pan to keep your soup in for the week. Colander. And a pressure cooker, nice deep pressure cooker. And for the food, we've got a squatting up bosh, part broccoli, usually I'd use a whole one, a whole pepper, 3 carrots, and some spuds for a bit of thickness, apple for some sweetness, and half an onion. So I'm going to go ahead and get chopping and get doing some stuff. Let me get a big knife from here. So this is a proper nice vegetable soup, quite thick, nice filling, and keeps you full up for hours. So go ahead, this is your biggest task so far. It's quite a big squash this, so just get peeling this bad boy up, and yeah man, show you some nice veggie food of what somebody who follows a plant-based diet gets up to. As I say, this is Monday, so I'll make this for the week. It means I don't have to eat any processed food because I've got my own homemade bread, and also my homemade soup, because you just know where it's all coming from, man. So it's nice, real nice. Get yourself some stuff together and get cooking and get exploring what you can make for yourself. Honestly man, cooking's the best thing going, because you put time and effort into your food, you get to the end, it tastes delicious, all the hard work's being done, and it's quite enjoyable in the process as well. Yeah man, so we're almost getting around to the end of the squash. Almost there, almost there. 1 second. So the colander is quite good just to get any deads, what you're not using, and so you can take it to the bin, or if your house is blessed with a compost bin, which we all should have, you can use that, but we don't. We don't, unfortunately, but that's something for when you get a house for yourself, man. Let's do this thing. So chop the end off, chop this off, and just keep doing it in rows. You'll come across the seeds. Nice and thin I do them, just so it boils a bit easier, cooks a bit easier. Once we find the seeds at this side, oops, it is it. Once we find the seeds at this side, we can start scooping them out, and I put them into a bowl. And we've got put them on the fireplace, or if you want you can cook them and just dry them out. They're quite, again, wahey, and again, another one. It's like tipping point. Right, let me shove them over there. I use my own chopping board to prep my own stuff, and it's not very big, but yeah, I'm going to scoop all this out, get the seeds out into a bowl. I'm going to dice the the squash more into chunks like so. 1 second. Into chunks like that. So cutting them into lines. I might even go across them that way again. But we'll get all this chopped up. I'll get the seeds out into a bowl, and we'll get it into the pressure cooker, just throw it straight in there, and then we'll move on with the other veg. But I'll have my little squash break. See you guys soon. Okay, so while you've been gone, I've chopped the carrots, I've peeled the potatoes, and I've peeled the apple. So what I'm going to do then is, chopped all the squash, put it in there. Nice vibrancy in colour. Always nice when your food's looking a bit colourful. Shove this on here, and then what I'll do is I'm going to chop up the rest of the food. So spuds are going in now, Don't have to cut them too small, obviously you're going to blend it later on, once it's boiled. There we go. Here we go. Throw the carrots in. And the apple's a real funny one. It just adds that little bit of sweetness to it. And you can surprisingly taste it amongst all the other veg and stuff. Right. Almost there with that one. Just cut them into bits like that. Not overly big, not too small though, so they don't just turn into a pulp. Like I say, you're going to be blitzing it later on, so it doesn't overly matter that much. And then I just chop the heads off the broccoli, it's fine. Won't shove the stalk in today, we're not feeling that out there. Right, so there we go. Right, so now we're going to add some water. So the keys with the water is not to add too much. So, how can I weigh this out? Could probably, let me add bits of water and then add it up. So at the moment, what am I putting in? We'll try 250ml for now. Oh no, 300ml for now. And I'll see what that looks like. I'll start pouring in. 300ml seems a bit shy. I'll put slightly more in. Let me tell you what it's going to be. See, the squash is quite big, so you've got to kind of gauge this. Like 300 might be enough depending on the size of your squash. So for this squash, because of the sheer size of it, 400ml of water I'm reckoning. You can always add a little bit more water, but you don't want to add too much because it makes it really liquidy then. I quite like the soup quite thick. So then, little tip, wet this ring. It helps with the pressure later on. Feed the ring round into here. Or whatever you've got, I don't know what pressure cooker you've got, but this is an absolute beast. Right, that'll be fine that now. Right, line up the balls. Takes a bit of getting on this one sometimes. So, there we go. That's fully on all the way around. Let me just check if these things can go a little bit. Just double check it's all the way around in there yet. Okay. And that's definitely on now. Your little whistle goes on top. And there we go. Lift this onto the cooker. 1 second, I know you're out of shot. And we put on quite a high heat to get that up. To boiling. We don't have try not to have the flames going out because but that's just on a it's got 2 flames on it. As you can see, they're not all the way up. They're just half up. Well, that one's on full, that one's on half. And then what we can do is we can start chopping as pepper and as onion. Hopefully we won't end up crying today and getting we haven't got emotional onions, as I call them. Put a bit of oil in the pan. Where are we talking? There we go. Sunflower oil in your frying pan. Yeah boy. We don't need to start frying them yet because we've still got to wait with the actual vegetables boiling. So, and as I say, what we do is wait for it to come up to boiling point, so the whistle starts going, so pressure starts releasing, and then you put it on a really low heat and just let it simmer for around, I think around 20 minutes ish, just till your veg is nicely softened up. But at the moment we'll chop some onions, get some onions chopped. Yeah man. So as I say, this is packed with loads of goodness for you. Really nutritious, and as I say, like, you'll eat it on a dinner time or whenever you want to eat it, and it just fills you up, man. It's really filling, proper nice, and It's got a real home vibe to it because it's just all vegetables. And you can, don't get me wrong, you can mash in what you want. You can add tomatoes. You can add, I mean, add what you want. Get a bit adventurous. Get a bit adventurous. Add different things. I mean, try something else. But for me, this works at the moment. But I'm not saying I won't add all else in over time. So that's them chopped. Don't have to go too mad with them. Don't have to go too crazy with them. Because as I say, they're getting blended at the end. But what I will do, once that gets frying, throw a bit of garlic in there, a bit of flavourings. I'll get what herbs I'm preparing to put in the soup and stuff like that. But fry herbs in with your veg, so it like binds to the veg, and then when you throw it in the soup, it just really brings all flavours out. So yeah, we'll have a little break. I'll wait till that's got up to boiling point and we're about to fry his veg and stuff, and see you soon, man. So within this little break, I've got the stuff out ready for the bread. So we're going to need 500 grams of plain flour. The salt's in the cupboard, but we only need a teaspoon of that to mix in with the yeast, so the yeast has got something to feed upon. But we're going to start making that now. In the meantime, while that's boiling, two things at once, let's do it. So, 500 grams of flour. We might need to get some more out of the bag of the cupboard. Oh. Just over. Can never get it dead on every time. There we go, that'll do. 500 grams of flour. Right, okay. Put that back where it belongs. There we go. Aha. Now. These cupboards move around a lot. Right, 1 minute you'll go in. 1 minute you'll go, aha! 1 minute you'll go in and something's in one place, and then when you go in it's moved. Because, you know, there we are. We got some yeast. 500 grams of flour, stick it in there. Stick it in a big bowl. That can go over there to be washed. Right, and then we need one of these jugs. Right, so the keys with the water is to have the water just warm, not hot. It's like that middle ground, proper Goldilocks water. Because if it's too hot, it'll kill the yeast, and if it's not hot enough, it won't start the process. So we get a teaspoon of salt ready. Get a little teaspoon. So it's just starting to warm up the tap now. I'm going for 325 ml. 325. There we go. 325 ml of water. Now we get a teaspoon. I always put the salt in first just so it's ready. We're using pink Himalayan rock salt. Right, okay. It's a bit chunky, this one. Right, let me smash it up a bit. There we go. Put that in there. Get the yeast, and I just do a rough stadge. Usually it's about 7 grams, but I just do a teaspoon of each. Like a level teaspoon for the yeast. Level. Come on. And then shove that in and get mixing that up. Get on mixing. And as you can see, it gets into like hard clumps at the side. So what I do is I like crush the spoon against them. Just make sure it's all fully mixed in. And usually if you've got the water at the right temperature, it'll start to dissolve straight away. If it's a bit cold, it'll sting like clumps. And now we're going to get a bit hands-on. So it's time to have the sleeves up. Fleece off, sleeves up. Woohoo! We're going in. Fleece off. We're about to get this stuck in. Right, okay, wooden spoon. So we just tip water in there, make a little nest in the middle. A little nest in the middle. Tip in the water. And then we're going to mix that up and mix that together so it all binds. We'll get some mixing going. Unfortunately, I can't find a camera position to show the mixing, but you get the gist, you get the gist. Just keep turning it over, like turning it into it and turning it over on itself over and over again. And eventually it will get there. And don't worry if you feel like you need to use a bit more water, but just make sure all the water that you initially put in is mixed in first. Don't make the mistake of not mixing it fully first and thinking you need to add more, because you don't want it gluey. It's a really elasticated dough, this. It gets proper stringy and pulls apart, and it's proper nice once it's cooked. Also, if you're at home and you're making this soup at home and you do bake the dough fresh out the oven, you can't beat bread that's fresh out the oven, nice and warm. So as you can see now, it's mixed into a bit of a clump, like it's not gluey, it's not stuck to my hands. And now I'm just going to like smear all the flour off the side of the bowl, so make sure all the flour's in there, and then we can do a bit of kneading then. So now we're squashing it into the bottom of the bowl and proper kneading it round, keep kneading it. Just give this baby a little bit of air. So mine is still a little bit sticky. I'll just make sure I've got all the flour off. I don't know if I need to add any more really. See, now I've got that flour off the sides, it's just made it that little bit different. So you just got to make sure it's really mixed in. Don't hesitate and think you're getting it this wrong. It's all play. I'm just going to knead that in there, and then this bad boy takes about an hour to prove. So you leave it to one side and let it just prove for an hour. I then cut it into little balls and put it in the freezer, and then you can cook that in the morning. So that's nicely in a ball there, look. Nice. I've got a bit on my hands, but it's minimum. I'm not full of it, you know what I mean? It's taken all in the ingredients. And that's what we're looking for. All the ingredients to be used up in this. Because you can tell the difference when your dough is going a bit wrong, because it's not right, it don't feel right. So what we're going to do is get a tea towel straight over the top and put it in the corner of your kitchen. It's 25 to 5 now, so 25 to 6, that's when you want to be looking at it, an hour's time. As we say, I'll just show you a quick run round of the kitchen. So in all this time, all this cooking time, all this mess will be gone, because I'll get on top of it. So as you can see, you can just see the steam starting to come out now. I don't know if you can pick up on that or not. Starting to come out a little bit. Once this bad boy rises, which it kind of has now, drop the temperature right down. Right down. And we're just going to leave that to simmer like that for 20 minutes. Look, both on the least setting, and we're just going to leave that now and just leave that to cook gradually. And that just makes sure the pressure isn't building up too much in the pan, and it's sorry about that. It's just there we go. It's just cooking at a slow rate and softening all the veg up, and then I'll get the blender out now, prepped, ready, and we'll blitz that bad boy up. As I say, do drop a like on this video if you're enjoying it right about now. I know I'm enjoying it, it's something different. And I'll try and do more cooking videos, maybe desserts or stuff like that. I do cooking for myself quite a lot. These frying veggies are just softening up now. We'll get this garlic gathered together. Well, hey, ready to throw in. At the moment, we might as well get spices ready, so I'll just pick my spices. Kind of pick them at random. I love a bit of cayenne pepper. Can throw a bit of cumin in there if you want it. Really weird one, a tiny hint of hot curry powder, only a tiny hint. Get some parsley in there. Your regular ones, oregano, all like that. Bit of standard, where is it? Bit of standard black pepper. And then, let me think. We might be alright there. We might be alright. We don't want to overcomplicate things. Like these are just hints of. So obviously, I've got diced garlic, hot curry powder, cayenne pepper, ground cumin, black pepper, parsley, oregano. And this is what I'm shoving in. You choose whatever you want to shove in. Get adventurous. Try different things. I'm just going to keep the heat up slightly on these onions and peppers, just so it starts getting them going a little bit more, just so they're cooking a bit quicker. And I've put a 20-minute timer on at the moment, and we're currently on, I think, about 12-10 minutes left on the actual vegetables and soup itself. And if you open it up and you're wondering still, maybe just give it a bit longer. But you just want everything nice and soft in there. The pressure builds up so it cooks it quite good. That's nicely going there. But look at that, it's just lovely. Nice colour and fresh food. You know it's something good going into your body. You're not questioning it. It's definitely good for you. There's no two ways about it. And it's fun. Turn cooking into a fun activity. It's the biggest thing for me at the moment, because you seek pleasure in feeding yourself good food, and your body appreciates it as well. So it's relaxing, you're chopping and doing stuff, you're busy, your mind's working and stuff. So that's cooking up nicely now. So you don't want to throw your garlic in too early, because it cooks it really quick and it burns. So you don't want it tasting like burnt garlic. That's not what we want. So maybe when you want to set it going, maybe when you get your pressure cooker up to full heat, turn it off, put it on a low heat so it's just bubbling away nicely. When that's been going for about 5 minutes, start frying your veg, and then kick it up a notch, get them going. You want them to finish around the same time, so you can be a gauge of that. You know when stuff's cooked. You know how much you like it cooked. I don't fry my stuff too heavily because it's a bit soggy, and I like to keep it all packed in. It loses quite a bit of nutrients that way. So I'm going to start adding my spices. So let's have a look here. So when you add it to the frying veg, as I said, it infuses with it, so it's the veg that carries it. So we've got a bit of cayenne pepper in there, mix that up. Cumin, I mind to do this one-handed, you see. Cumin, probably about the same, not too much. I'm gonna have to put you down for a second. Let me see if I can flip this, turn it like so. Get it round about, oh, you can just about see, good. So parsley's going in now. I'll put quite a bit of that in. I just think it looks good, looks nice. You can see the herbs in there. I'm going to mix that up already now. And I'm going to turn the heat down slightly now. I like to get stuff up to the heat and then turn down and let them mellow off so they cook more slower. Because if not, you can overcook stuff and it doesn't taste right, it doesn't taste nice. Doesn't taste the best it could possibly be. So we've just added the oregano. Add a bit of black pepper now. In fact, I add that when the soup's cooked, and then you can mix it in, so it still stays fresh. Curry powder, this is an interesting one. Don't add a lot of this stuff because you don't want it tasting like curry, but it just adds a bit of a, up against the apple, the sweetness of the apple, so around about a teaspoonish. Up against the apple, it's nice and sweet, and it's just, oh yeah, just a nice touch of each one. And I'm still not going to add the garlic as of yet. Mix that up nicely. It's cooking, everything's good, we're happy about us life. We're just thinking, wow, we've taken the time to do some really good cooking, and at the end of this we're going to appreciate all the more. So I'm actually going to add a tiny bit more oil as I throw the garlic in. So only a tiny amount, we don't want too much oil. I mean, I'm sure there's alternatives, you could use different kinds of oil and stuff, coconut oil maybe, or something like that, but I've just got sunflower oil because it's the only thing I've got. I'm human, forgive me. And then we'll just stir the garlic within it, it doesn't really matter, because you don't want the garlic to just be naked to the pan. As I say, you don't want your garlic burnt. So there we go, we're going to let that cook. We've got around 7 minutes on the pressure cooker. We'll let all that cook. I'll have another tidy up in this break, and I'll show you what you do next. That's our cue to get the pressure cooker now. So basically, this is pressurised, obviously, with really hot water, and you've got to take the pressure out that way. And but basically, we've got to open this up. So the way to do that is run cold water around the outside. As you can see, steam coming off now. This just releases a bit of pressure inside. So there we go. Right, we're going to open this up. There we go. Nice and soft. Just always double check the veg. So we'll get a knife on it now. And everything in there, as you can see, squatting up Bosch, everything. It's all nice and soft. All nice and soft. And we'll keep the water in there. I mean, you can always tip a little bit out if you think there's too much in. I'm going to go ahead and say there's not. So, here we go. Frying pan's been cooking there. Let me just alter this camera angle. There we go. Frying pan's been cooking there on it. Just scrape this veg straight into the pan, into the pressure cooker. There we go. Nice and nice and nice. All that flavour in there. So, now we're going to get to the hands-on part. If the dough wasn't hands-on enough, get the chopping board, just so you don't burn your kitchen units. There we go. And this is like a handheld blender, which will blend all this veg together. Now, do be careful when you come to blending this, because it does spit, it does gloop at you, and you don't want to get burnt. Let's push that right in there. We'll start blending this bad boy up. And if it needs more water, you can always have some. Which I think we might do, but as I say, the main thing is the veg is all mixed up. Depends how thick you want it. But I'm just going to blend all the veg first, and if I want to add some more, then I'll add some more. Ah, there we go. We're finding some watery patches now. You want to give this a really good blend. spoon that you've been cooking your other veg with, and just give it a stir, and just make sure you're not finding too many chunks of vegetables and stuff. I'm finding a few little chunks here and there, so I'm going to carry on blending. And if you really want to thicken this up, like if you really wanted it to be a thick soup, like back in the beginning, if you saw at the start, I only used 2 small potatoes, but if you use bigger potatoes, it'll be a thicker soup. But I don't eat too many potatoes, me. Well, just because I fancy trying it different. I had it quite potato-y last time, so I've gone for more squash this time. Thinking that looks about ready now, and it just, oh, it's just delicious, honestly. So this is what your finishing product is gonna look like. There you go. And I know some folk might think, oof, not very nice colour or what have you, but if you're a veg man like me and you like your nutrients and you want to feel good about what you're eating, I mean, look at that. It's lovely. It's proper nice. See, it's quite not too thick, but it's because I use small potatoes. If you'd like it thicker than this, go bigger with your potatoes. So, following on, this is what the bread rolls turn out to look like. Put it in the box. So yeah, I cut them into like little doughy balls and just freeze them, ready to be cooked. One of those mentos, and then I'll show you what I'll deal with that in a minute. I'll show you what the finishing product looks like. So I have actually got this heating through because it's a rainy day. Obviously I'm currently not at work, but I'll just got this bread roll warming up. I did cook it this morning, but this is what you're going to be looking at, like a nice crusty roll. Really nice, crusty on the outside, chewy on the inside, nice to dip in your soup. And then I've got a bowl of soup warming up there, ready to eat for me dinner. Yum. Wow. Nice crunchy bread, nice tasty soup, delicious. There's no excuse now. You got to go away and make yourself some nice decent food, get cooking for yourself. I hope you've enjoyed the video. My channel is usually about self-development and stuff like that, but I might keep throwing an odd different video in there in the mix just to switch it up a bit and change it up a bit. I hope you're doing well. Get cooking.